Level 1, the observer. You're 19. 3 months ago, you started your first year of university. Now you're sitting in the back of a crowded lecture hall watching the girl 2 rows ahead of you. You don't actually care about her. You care about the way she looks at you. You make minimum wage working at a campus coffee shop. It's less than your friends make back home, but you get free access to hundreds of people, free data, free psychological profiles. The environment provides. Your friend group has 6 people. You only know the deep secrets of 3 of them. The instinct running your brain doesn't care if you learn the others. Half of them will drop out or transfer within a year anyway. Your job is simple. Blend in, smile, don't reveal the emptiness. The social thermometer reads 0. You have no real personality of your own. When people talk, you listen. Not to understand, but to collect ammunition. You mirror their posture. You repeat their catchphrases back to them. You learn that if you stare into someone's eyes and stay completely silent, they will eventually overshare to fill the void. You watch a guy in your dorm get his heart broken. He cries. He screams. You feel absolutely nothing. You have to actively remind your face muscles to form an expression of sympathy. Nobody sees the mask. You survive the semester. That makes you lucky. You're promoted. Level 2, the mirror. You're 22. First real job, first serious relationship. You're now promoted to boyfriend. Your social currency goes up. You're spending 3 nights a week at her apartment,
Actively running a psychological campaign. You're no longer the new guy to human interaction. You know how the system works. You know which compliments will make them lower their guard and which subtle insults will make them crave your validation. You know to text them at 2 in the morning so they think you can't sleep without them. You know to buy the exact obscure book they mentioned once in passing. The new targets look at you like you're their soulmate, like it's fate. It isn't. You know that 90% of a person's identity is built on deep, unresolved childhood insecurities. You know that every bond you make is artificial. The first real argument happens. You make a glaring mistake. You forget a birthday. She confronts you. You don't panic. You pivot. You look her in the eye and tell her she never told you the date. You say it with such terrifying conviction that she hesitates. You lower your voice. You ask her why she's always trying to start fights. You ask if she's been sleeping okay because her memory has been slipping lately. By the end of the night, she is crying. She apologizes to you for getting upset. You don't think about the damage. You don't ask questions about the moral decay in your chest. You keep your head down. You follow your instincts. You survive another year. You're promoted again. Level 3. The architect. You're 25. You move in together. You are the architect of a shared life. 2 incomes depend on your decisions. The instinct trains you to think for yourself. Mission-type tactics. The goal is total dependency, but nobody tells you exactly how to achieve it. You figure it out. You make $65,000 a year. You convince your partner that their job is stressing them out. You tell them they deserve a break. You tell them you will take care of everything. They quit. You are now the sole provider. You're responsible for keeping this dynamic alive in a world that constantly tells people to leave toxic situations. The friends they brought into the relationship are smarter than the ones who came before. They see the red flags. They know you check the phone bills. They know you isolate her. You deal with the friends. You don't forbid her from seeing them. That's amateur. You just plant tiny venomous seeds of doubt. You mention how her best friend always seems jealous of her. You point out backhanded compliments. You manufacture a reality where you are the only person she can truly trust. Half of her friendships die within 6 months anyway. You write the narrative. You divide her attention until there isn't enough left but you. You decide who she goes to dinner with and who stays back. You execute your first total discard. She catches you in a lie you can't gaslight your way out of. She packs a bag. You don't hesitate. You block her number while she is literally walking out the door. Hesitation gets you caught. You don't sleep well for a night, but you survive. You're promoted. Level 4, the victim. You're 28.
You're a victim now, a professional martyr. You're the backbone of your own delusional narrative. In most breakups, both sides take some blame. In your world, 9 out of 10 breakups are entirely the other person's fault. There aren't enough empathetic people left in your city to listen to you. They keep catching on. You run everything. The smear campaign, the rumors, the collateral damage, all of it. The mutual friends talk about you behind your back. You handle their perceptions. Before your ex can even explain why she left, you are already sitting in coffee shops, crying on cue. You weaponize therapy speak. You call her a narcissist before she can use the word on you. You talk about your boundaries. You talk about your trauma. When people cut her off, you collect their loyalty like dog tags. The girl you are dating now is 21 years old. She's been in the adult dating pool for 6 minutes. She looks to you for guidance because you've survived so much heartbreak. You keep her isolated as long as you can. She finds a text on your phone from another woman. She confronts you, shaking. You sigh. You look deeply disappointed. You tell her your ex used to violate your privacy just like this. You tell her you are being triggered. She immediately drops the issue to comfort you. The tactic works perfectly. You realize you can get away with anything if you wrap it in a trauma response. You've seen the numbers. You know you are destroying her. But the ego doesn't care what you want.
You're still here, which means you're taking notes. Drop a like, subscribe. The playbook isn't finished yet. Level 5, the parasite. You're 32. They made you a husband anyway. The dating market needs charming people. The apps consume them like ammunition. Most red flags used to require a deep psychological evaluation to spot. Not anymore. By this age, people just want what society calls a stable career and the willingness to commit. You lead a household, then a joint bank account. When your spouse gets a massive promotion, you're responsible for managing the sudden influx of wealth. Most of it is theirs. All of it is watched by you. You learn to read financial statements. You learn to coordinate with accountants. You learn to write narratives that make your reckless spending sound like strategic investments. You also learn the secret that manipulators don't discuss. You have replaced your core personality an average of 9 times by this age. 9. You're a placeholder, a chameleon. The expensive suit is just waiting for a new persona to fill it. You swore an oath at an altar in front of 200 people. Every married person did. That oath keeps your spouse fighting for the marriage even when the reality shows nothing but a one-sided withdrawal. You cheat. You leave clues on purpose because the peace is boring. You want the conflict. You're promoted again. You didn't ask for it, but the toxicity demands escalation.
Level 6, the ghost. You're 35. You command a divorce. 2 lawyers, 1 house. You are the highest functioning sociopath most of these people will ever personally know. You sit in mediation. You wear the same expensive watch she bought you. You do this deliberately. It builds psychological tension. You and your lawyer eat identical catered lunches. You fight together. You bleed her dry together. You write emails to her family, dozens of them. You run out of ways to say, "We just grew apart," that don't sound like outright lies. Your marriage started with an illusion of perfection. By now, the illusion has been replaced 3 times over. Same address, completely different reality. Her family doesn't know the real you anymore. They stopped trying to learn. The divorce proceedings have killed whatever empathy she had left. You know this because you've seen it in her eyes. Not legal statistics, real human destruction. You sign the papers. You walk out of the courthouse. You're transferred to a new city just before the dust settles. Level 7, the juggler. You're 39. You command a double life. 3 different women in 3 different zip codes. You've survived the consequences of your actions longer than almost anyone who operates the way you do. The modern dating era lands on your phone. Your screen time loses 28 hours a week to dating apps, swiping, texting, capturing. You coordinate between different lies. You request specific photos. You write texts explaining why your phone was off for the entire weekend again. By August, your emotional bandwidth is completely ineffective. More than half your lies are contradicting each other. The replacements arriving in your life are women with their own deep traumas and naive optimists who still believe in fixing broken men. You receive ultimatums that make no logistical sense to your lifestyle. You agree to them anyway. Men who question the ultimatums get blocked, or worse, exposed. You hear about the rumors spreading in your social circle, the whispers. You say nothing. 7 different people are cut out of your life. 5 different bridges are burned. Your mind replaces genuine human connection with a constant dopamine-fueled hunt. You keep your charm raised. You keep swiping right.
Level 8, the hubris. You're 45. You're a master manipulator now. You command a boardroom, a new younger fiancé, and a carefully curated Instagram account. 12,000 followers on paper, half that in reality because you bought the rest. The ego has been personally commanding your life since you were 19. It fired 35 friends and colleagues who displeased you. The smart people in your life learned not to displease you. The smarter ones walked away entirely. One genuine connection dies every 2 weeks. You know because you count the unanswered texts. You attend the social events when there's enough of your reputation left to show your face. The game is lost. Everyone in your industry knows it. The women in your city know it. Nobody says it to your face. Saying it is admitting they fell for it. Admitting it is humiliation. You look in the mirror. The charm isn't working the same way. The hair is thinning. The smile looks practiced, forced. The younger targets don't look at you with awe anymore. They look at you with mild, cautious amusement. You keep signing checks. You keep sending texts at 2 a.m. The machine runs itself, but the gears are grinding. Level 9, the void. You're 55. The collapse. Countless burned bridges, 3 ex-wives, estranged children who only text you on holidays out of obligation. 63% of your wealth lost in settlements and legal fees over the final 16 months of your last marriage. The lies you swore to yourself die with you in a massive, empty house. The expensive watch comes off. The charm ends. But it doesn't end. The silence holds you prisoner. The last of your enablers don't come around anymore. 11 years after the peak of your success, the phone doesn't ring. Some of the people you hurt were just 19-year-old kids who wanted to be loved. None of them got what they wanted, but they moved on. They healed. They learned to spot people exactly like you. Your empire doesn't exist anymore. The targets are gone. The manipulation is dust. You sit in the dark. The thermometer reads room temperature, but it feels freezing. You open your phone. You type a message to an ex from a decade ago. I was just thinking about you. You hit send. Read at 9:41 p.m. No reply.